Hey guys, so I'm going to make a quick video about food combining here. I got a couple questions about it this morning when I posted my picture of my yellow watermelon. See, watermelon? It is so good. Yeah. Anyway, so food combining. Food combining. Basic concepts. I'm not going to get too detailed here. I have grasped a couple ideas with it and I kind of put the rest aside. Biggest thing you want to do is keep fruit, any sweet fruit, alone and first thing in the day. As soon as you eat something that isn't a sweet fruit, you're done with fruit for the day. That has worked really well for me. So if you want fruit for dessert, eat dessert for breakfast. Awesome. I try to do a single fruit at a time. I find that's worked best for me. I have a history of digestive distress, IBS, bloating. I get headaches, and in the past I had depression linked to my digestion and what I was putting in my body. So this is working well for me. So fruit. I do fruit for breakfast and lunch. I'll do something really easy to digest. I'll do melon, or I'll do berries, enough quantity that I'm going to get enough calories to make that a full meal. And then I'm not going to be hungry for pretty much spending my whole day eating. Once lunch rolls around, I'm going to do something a little heavier. The other day I got a couple packages of frozen jackfruit. Do a whole bunch of bananas, 6, 7, 8. Blend them into smoothie if you want to switch it up. You can add greens and make it a green smoothie, and then you get a little bit more minerals in it. Mangoes are my favorite. When you get a ripe mango, there's just like nothing else like it. Or you can do a big salad. Keeping the fats, yeah, okay, so fruit on its own. We're good with that? Cool. Okay. Reason for that, fruits digest very quickly. They almost need no time in the stomach at all. They're generally in and out within half an hour and then moved on to the intestines where nutrients start to get absorbed. The reason for food combining is that we don't just eat fruit. A lot of people for lunch, they're going to do a sandwich where they're taking a starch and then putting a protein in between it. Problem with this, or your steak and potatoes for dinner or whatever, problem with that is that starches and proteins require very different digestive juices to basically get broken down and passed on to nutrient absorption. Digestive juices that are so different, in fact, that they neutralize each other, which takes a lot longer for digestion. Think like, Thanksgiving dinner when everyone wants to go have a nap afterwards. There's so much energy required to digest that meal that we can't, live our life. Or in that case, like enjoying our time with our family that, in my case, I only see my extended family a couple of times a year, and we're going to spend that in like a kind of food slump. So I want to avoid that. I want to be alert in my awake time. So if you need to choose, are you going to do a starch or are you going to do a protein? Once you do that, how are you going to fill up the rest of it? Because you're not going to eat I have done it a few times, like a giant bowl of potatoes. Super good when you're craving carbs. Awesome, feels good, and I didn't have any problems with it. But anyway, you're going to pick, are you going to have your starch or are you going to have your protein? With that, and which is going to make your digestion even better when keeping those separate, is adding a big salad to it, or greens, a non-starchy vegetable to your protein, or or you can do a combination of mixed starches together. Like if you want to do some cooked quinoa and some squash, and then add some veggies to that. But it's really, if you're doing your cooked starch and you're doing your cooked protein, maybe do one for lunch and one for dinner. I would say if you're going to be eating that range of foods, do your starch at lunchtime, because the starch is usually about 2 hours in the stomach before ready to go in the intestine. Protein is anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, depending on what you eat it with, what your body is at. Me, I personally don't digest proteins very well, so it's something that I don't eat very often. I find I am so sensitive that and I'm not a napper, but I feel like I need to have a nap if I eat a meal containing a like high protein food. Excuse me, the hiccups. So that's kind of, you know, food combining basics without getting too complicated. If you want to learn a little bit more in a print source from someone that, you know, is a little bit more certified than me, who has been researching for about 15 years now, I would very much recommend the very first book I read when I was like 13 or 14. I read it in a weekend. Anything by, it is backwards, but it's Harvey Diamond. Any of the Fit for Life books, there's ones that you can get at the bookstore. They're like little paperback. It's like $8 or $9, but it very detailed explains his personal healing story through food, but also a lot more detail into food combining. I've broken it down really simply there, but there is a little bit more to it, especially if you want to eat more intricate meals. Really excellent. Anything Fit for Life. It's been around for a long time. It's been recommended by a lot of people. It's one of the first books that talked about food combining or natural hygiene. The next that I'll recommend is newer, but also talks about food combining. It has amazing recipes and also supports a type of eating that I have found very healthy. This one here, it's called the Beauty Detox Solution. It's sold more like a beauty diet book, but it's got some great information. She's a very well researched. It's Kimberly Snyder, very well researched, great information, easy read, and her recipes, every single one I've made is delicious. I think this one has her, like, it's a homemade veggie burger recipe, and it was like, I ate like 7 patties worth in like 2 meals. Like, it was just, I could not get enough. It was so good. This is good. She's also recently released the Beauty Detox Foods, which is more of a full recipe book, whereas this one has, it's half like a lot of the science. This one first, because this one refers to it a lot. Really good, easy to find. I think like I've seen it at like Shoppers Drug Mart and the grocery store. Chapters has them, and they have been getting a lot of press, so it is easier to find. The last one, there's a little bit, not so much food combining, but it is definitely healing lifestyle. And if you saw my pictures on Facebook or you saw my video about me talking about the Woodstock Fruit Festival, this is the book that inspired that movement. It's the 80-10-10 diet. It's a little bit harder to find. I had to order my copy online. I did get it through Chapters. Amazon has it, or you can get it directly through Dr. Douglas Graham's website. Yeah, it's really good, and again, it promotes simple. I always am like, okay, if it's not a simple answer, I'm just not going to do it. Simplest answer is best. It's easy. Now that I've kind of grasped a couple concepts, I don't have to think about it anymore, and I can spend more time doing the things I really enjoy doing, including sharing this information, and I'm really excited that this question came up today. So I really hope that this video helped. If you have any more questions about food combining, please let me know, and I will definitely kind of revisit my research and give you more information. But yeah, yay! Enjoy!